Ladies and gentlemen, KocoSports.com proudly presents the Boom Boom Room, and of course, I am the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, second room, live from the RVA, Richmond, Virginia. Well, what can I say, man? We've got another NXT in the books here, and this is the first of the Shinsuke Nakamura era. Of course, he won the championship at NXT TakeOver back to Brooklyn. And now they're also going to feature new talent, considering with the combination of draft and then some recent call-ups, they're going to have to feature some new talent. So in this, basically, they're kicking off a new era here. So what do you think about it? I mean, do you give tonight's show a win, a loss, or a tie? So down here, over here in the chat room, down here in the comment section, what do you give the show? Win, loss, or tie? So let me know. Me, all things considered, I'm going to give it a win. I was entertained by that. I enjoyed kind of not knowing what they were going to do, where they were going to go with the storylines, with angles, how they were going to advance things, how they were going to have new people come forward. I didn't know who was going to come through the curtain half the time. And, for me, that was just kind of a refreshing pace. So I give it a win. I actually get excited when, like, these people that I just hear about on the house shows finally debut on television, and I'm finally getting a chance to see them for the very first time. I get excited at little things like that. It's kind of like when you see like a quarterback who wins the Super Bowl, but you could say, hey, I remember the first time he got his start as a freshman in college. That's kind of how I look at NXT. This is just like maybe these freshmen's first game. So, but the first match here, these two are definitely not freshmen here. We see the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger, taking on Buddy Murphy. Let me just say this right now. I'm a huge fan of Ty Dillinger. I think he is the Perfect 10. I think he's got a great gimmick. He busts his ass in the ring. People have really taken to him. I mean, he just can't be a heel. They've tried to make him a heel, but they like him a little too much. And I think NXT realized that, and so they put him as the face of this match against Buddy Murphy. Murphy, no disrespect to him, but I think they need to find something else for him, because right now he's just kind of like a ship without a rudder. I mean, he's just kind of adrift out there in the sea of NXT. I mean, the man's a former tag team champion. I mean, the man, stepped up when the company needed him to with Wesley Blake, and they became tag team champions. They carried that tag division for about a good 6-7 months before they finally got some more teams in there up to snuff, and they finally relinquished those championships, and they just went to jobber territory, and nothing good has happened to them since. I don't think these guys have actually won a match since losing to the Vaudevillains at that NXT TakeOver where they lost their championships. I mean, they've just been on a downward spiral, or at least nothing solid. But this was some decent action here. So it was a bit of a short match, but Ty Dillinger wins with the tiebreaker. It's I cannot think of the name of the move, but I know that Hiroki Goto does it. It's just where you get them up at a fireman's carry, and you throw them up over, and you basically your opponent's neck hits your knee. I can't think of the Japanese name for it because my Japanese name is fucking horrible. But no, I enjoyed it. I think it was a good opener. Then they go back. Then they do something like really cool here. They kind of recap Johnny Gargano's bad week. Of course, he loses. He has to tap. He's forced to tap out in that match back to Brooklyn against the Revival. Then 4 days later, goes to the Cruiserweight Classic, hurts that knee again. Is tapped out by TJP, and so they try to get a update. They have God, who is it? What's that person's? I cannot think of that. Backstage. I can't think of that chick's name. I apologize, but starts to interview him. Tommaso Ciampa's talking about, well, you watched all this. Johnny Gargano's got a heart, bigger than anything, and then he's interrupted by the Revival. And then I just loved what they did with this, because Champ was like, well, I'm going to get my ass kicked, but I'm at least going to get my licks in. He's like, fuck it, we're about to do this. So he elbows Dashwater and starts taking fist over to Scott Dawson. Eventually, the 2-on-1's too much for him. They shove him through a door, and I thought that was going to be it. No, they actually shoved him through that door, and it went right into the Full Sail Arena. So they, slammed him into the announce table, threw him over the top, knocked him down, drug him into the ring, beat him down. The bad guys, of course, cut a promo. They're just, healing it up, which I absolutely love. Crowds booing the hell out of them, and they're like a good boo. Because I mean, I really like the Revival old school tag team, old school mentality. I love it. It fits perfectly with NXT. It's something. It's old, but it's something new. It's, I guess, something so old school that it seems new again. I love it. Ciampa, he crawls back into the ring like he's just not ready to give up. But they throw him, they hit him with the Shatter Machine. This is the segment. One thing I kind of didn't like about this was the referees. Here's like this unscheduled, thing going on. He's like, legitly, like let's just go with the kayfabe world here. You have two guys beating up one guy. This is not a sanctioned match. This is not scheduled. This isn't supposed to happen. They're taking up. They're not. You got to worry about the safety of your athletes. And then also you got to think from a production standpoint, hey, these guys are holding up the show. I mean, there's supposed to be a match. It's going to be starting any second now. We need to get these guys out of here. And nobody gets in the fucking ring. Nobody tries to get in there and stop them. I mean, they're just kind of stand out like, hey, don't you do that. Don't do that. It's like that viral video. If you haven't seen that, check this one out. There's one of like this cat that's sitting on a coffee table, and it's like, got its paw, it's about to hit like this little, not this, it's either like a candle or a shot glass. It's something like, small little glass thing. And the owner's like, no, don't you do it. And the cat's just, no, don't you do it. Shh. No, don't you do it. Shh. And finally, no, I said no. Bink. That's what it looked like to me. I mean, the referees look fucking ridiculous. I mean, they all should have got in the ring and tried to break them up. Because if you're going to the kayfabe world, I mean, that's what I would do. It's like, hey, this isn't supposed to happen. This is an actual fight. This is not a match. You're holding up production time. People's, health is at risk here. Get in there, separate them. Instead, they all gathered around the ring like, oh my God, can we go in here? It's like, no, the floor's not fucking lava. You can't go in there. But that was probably right. Steve Cutler, he cut a promo before the match. He is a former, well, I don't want to say former Marine, once a Marine, always a Marine, as Dave Coco once, told me, and I think, as Coco would say, 0331, machine gunner for life, or infantry. I'm sorry. I apologize, Coco, don't kill me. No, really, don't kill me. He takes on Kenneth Crawford. You may remember him from the Cruiserweight Classic series. Cutler had a decent. I think he had a decent match. I liked his finisher. It was like a fisherman's. Fisherman's suplex that went to a Michinoku driver. I enjoyed that. I mean, he was just brutal. Crawford, man, not to take away from him. He looked pretty good in there. He sold for Cutler. I mean, it was just towards the end. It just looked like something that would really end the match. It's like, Kid Crawford was on the up and up, had the upper hand. Cutler just, clocked him right in the corner. I mean, just floored him, stepped on him, put all his body weight, and that left him prone enough for to hit his finishing maneuver and got the win. It's like, okay, that makes sense. So I like that. So I want to see more from this guy. I want to see what he can do. And hopefully there'll be good things here. Next, they did a little backstage interview. Hideo Itami. She talked with Dasha Fuentes. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I'm going to try to give you the abridged version here. Just that he's disappointed in Austin Aries, and and if he doesn't want to feel pain like the one in his ruptured eardrum, I don't know if that's shoot or not, but he should stay out of Itami's ring or he'll go back to sleep. That was cool. Then they started showing some highlights of Nakamura's career in NXT so far. They started with the NXT TakeOver Dallas where he debuted. They showed a new vignette for Sanity, which some are speculating is Crazy Mary Dobson. Apparently, from what I've understood, she has signed with NXT, and she is supposed to be showing up at the Performance Center really any day now. He said that she's supposed to show up in September, so that's just really any week now. So if I had to guess, I would say after Labor Day, if I had to guess, but it's just me. Then they did a TM61 promo video that was really quick. You had a match here with No Way Jose versus Angelo Dawkins. I'm hoping they can get No Way Jose back on track here. Let me ask you something, Infantry. Do you feel like No Way Jose has flopped? And if you feel like he's flopped, do you feel like whose fault is it? Do you feel like it's NXT's fault because they hyped him up? They get all these vignettes. It's like, okay, this is a guy that we're going to feature. Here's all these vignettes. Not like they did Steve Cutler. Steve Cutler, yeah, he's wrestled like a few matches here and there, but tonight they gave him like this promo, this tape promo before his match. He goes out there and wrestles, does this thing. Well, No Way Jose, they kind of did it with like the Sanity vignettes. All they did with him was they just started playing No Way Jose, his music, and then he goes out there and he's just dancing. I mean, do you feel like the gimmick's too goofy, that he can't get it over, or do you feel like it's his wrestling ability, or do you feel like WWE or NXT particularly set him up? Is it doing him right? What are they gonna? I don't know. Just he goes out there and wrestles Angelo Dawkins, who I've already said like 2 weeks ago shouldn't have a job with NXT because if you've been on the roster for like 2-3 years and you barely get any television time, and the time you do get, you suck. I just don't. I just there's a lot of talent out there. There's a lot of people that could be getting more time. There's a lot of people who could be called up. There's a lot of people who could be invited there. So I think it's time to cut Angelo Dawkins loose. He just does not impress me. He just doesn't. But No Way Jose winning with that full. Actually, it's a half Nelson slam. They said it's a full Nelson. No, full Nelson means you got both arms. No, he gets about one arm that picks you up and throws you down. So that's a half Nelson slam. Get your facts together, WWE. I'm playing. Then Andrade Cien Almas. He's backstage talking with Charlie Caruso. I just fucked that name up, and I apologize. About his loss in Brooklyn, but he's cut off by Austin Aries, and he's upset. Obviously, he's responding to Hideo Itami and saying that somebody's trying to steal my spotlight, but I'm going to come in here and steal your spotlight because you don't matter because you lost last week. And then Almas says, you know what, and started speaking in Spanish. He said, oh, I'm sorry, you need to speak in the ear that's not where the eardrum isn't ruptured. You need to. So what did you say, English? You speak English? He's like, basically changed it to a match. But Double A says, oh, no, I can't hear that. I can't hear it. And he walked off. By the way, yes, I have heard the rumors that, or not rumors, but reports that CN was working as a heel on some of these recent house shows. So is that a sign of things to come? Well, hell, it couldn't hurt. I just think... I think Andrade, when he is doing his Lucha Libre stuff, he's at his best. But when he's not, he's trying to wrestle the WWE style. It's like he's kind of struggling. It's like it's almost like he's wrestling with like a ball and chain around his ankle. That's what it seems like he's wrestling. I really wish he would just relax, get out there and do his thing. I know they're maybe trying to teach him the WWE style, which is probably his big limitation right now, is wrestling the WWE style. The second one would be English, but the English thing doesn't bother me. Hell, you can always get... he doesn't have to talk. I mean, and when he does, you can either just have somebody interpret for him, or have him gradually learn English, kind of like what they're doing with some of the Japanese talent. I mean, where they learn just enough English to kind of get their point across. I think you could do that. I mean, it's like me. If I went to Mexico, I mean, I barely, and I do stress barely, speak any Spanish whatsoever. But it was one of those, okay, if I learned how to wrestle the Lucha Libre style, maybe, at that point, I could let my actions do the talking. That's when I really have to sell my body language, my facial expressions, until I could, learn just enough Spanish to kind of get okay, here's who I am and here's what I'm wanting to do. Just kind of get my point across. And I think I could do that. So I think once he gets this WWE style down, I think he'll be all right. But I think we need to dig a little bit deeper into Andrade's Almas's past, about Lucha Libre. I mean, yeah, when they do mention it, this vignette where he took off his mask and they had some of his old matches played in the background. But I think they really need to kind of, get into his, who is he? Why is he here? What makes him tick? What's he trying to accomplish? What obstacles is he trying to overcome? What is he working on? What does he want to do with his life? Does he want to say, I want to be the first, Lucha Libre star to ever win the WWE Championship, or You know what? I see the Cruiserweight Classic. They're holding up a Cruiserweight division. Well, you know what? I want to go there and I want to win that championship and bring prestige to it again. I want to make it the most, prestigious title that WWE's ever had. I mean, I could give me some kind of reason because I want to care about it. I really do want to care about it. So NXT, give me a reason to care about Andrade Cien Almas. Then next we have Liv Morgan taking on Aaliyah. Liv Morgan, I don't know. I just don't like her personally. I don't know. I don't know her personally. I don't think for me. It's nothing personal. It's nothing against her as a person. It's just Liv Morgan. The whole Jersey 201 gimmick it just doesn't do it for me. I've said that till I'm blue in the face. Aaliyah, I've heard of her wrestling on the NXT house shows, but I have not actually seen her wrestle on TV. At least nothing memorable. So this is, for all practical purposes, her debut. Now, from what I saw, Liv Morgan did look a little bit better out there. You could tell her and Aaliyah had worked together a little bit. Aaliyah, she had a good look. I like what she was doing in there. But Liv Morgan gets the win with a kick to the head. I really wish they would give her a different finishing maneuver. I mean, for right now, I guess it's fine. She's starting out. Let's let her get comfortable with wrestling, and then we can work on changing finishing maneuvers later. I mean, hell, they've already done it for No Way Jose. Because remember, one of his finishing maneuver before him was a punch to the face. Andrade Cien Almas, his was like double knees in the corner. This is probably been with what's his name? Solomon Crowe. I mean, his original finishing maneuver was he bounced off the ropes and fell on you. So once these guys get, particularly Liv, once she gets a little bit more comfortable in there, I think that would be something I would change. I would definitely change the finishing maneuver. And Aaliyah, I think it was a good showing. I want to see more of her. So I think that was mission accomplished. I saw her. I didn't hate her. I kind of want to see more of her. So there you go. Then Dasha Fuentes caught up with No Way Jose. He says, you know what? I'm going to get a fresh start. So I like the fact that they're not continuing this feud with Austin Aries. He's like, you know what? This is, it's like a learning experience. I'm going to bounce back. I'm getting excited about that. Then Bobby Roode walked by, lifted him up and down, and quote unquote said, nice head, and then just walked off. Is this the next feud? I don't know, but I think it would be glorious. Sorry, I couldn't resist. Then we get to, I don't want to call it the main event. It was just like the final segment is, crap, am I still on the air? Yeah, I'm still on the air. Sorry, somebody just messaged me, asked me if we were having trouble here, but no, I don't think I'm having any trouble. No, I'm still on air. I apologize. All right, next then we have Shinsuke Nakamura. He walked out to a huge pop. He talked about his journey through NXT. He talked about wrestling Finn Balor. He talked about wrestling Samoa Joe. And by the way, yes, I'm sorry I didn't mention at the beginning of the show that the very first thing they showed was Samoa Joe sitting with the trainer, and the trainer telling William Regal that Joe dislocated his jaw, and he also found other injuries, and so he's not comfortable with him getting in the ring right now. So no word when Samoa Joe's going to be out, how long he's going to be out, which is fine by me. If it was me, I would have called him up. I would have called him up to. I'd call him up to SmackDown like now. I would straight up call him because I think they really need him, but I think they're saving the rematch, and they need to cool him off a little bit, get him off TV, have him come back for revenge. But anyway, Nakamura, he put over everybody. He says he's won all these titles, before, but this one means the most for him. And this is the era of strong style, big pop, and that's how they go off the air. So, all in all, I was happy with the show. I would say, if you're, maybe if you're burned out, you want to come back to NXT. I mean, this was like the reset button in my opinion, because this is a new era. You have a new champion. Samoa Joe's going to be on the shelf for a little while. You've got these new stars. You've got a few people on there that you kind of know. I'm hoping to see big things particularly from Ty Dillinger. I want to see him get pushed harder. I want to see Andrade Cien Almas succeed because I want to see a Lucha Libre star, by the way, Lucha Underground, starting back this upcoming week, a week from tonight. We will be talking about Lucha Underground. I'm goddamn excited. Yes. Oh, yeah. I'm getting excited about that. I want to see Lucha Libre star take off. I want to see more of Bobby Roode. I want to see TM61. I want to see more from the Authors of Pain. I want to see where this feud with the Revival, Gargano, and Ciampa are going. I hope they settle it in a steel cage because that's what I think the next thing is. You know, you need to escalate. You need to have a rematch, but you need to escalate the fuck out of it. So I was entertained by it. I like seeing the new talent. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But let me know what you thought about it. Somebody asked me, what do you think Andrade Cien Almas' finisher should be? I think he changed it up now. I cannot remember what it is right now off the top of my head. I know he moved. Oh, I know what it is now. He moved he did like this double running knee in the corner, which really wasn't working. But now he's doing this thing where he has you in a hammerlock, but then puts you into a DDT. That's what he's doing. You know what? I figure if we're going to go that route, I would say like a tornado DDT. Why not that? You know, just put a little oomph on it. And I think that would. I mean, I think that would be a relatively safe move that NXT would be comfortable with. I think that would fit his style because he's a lucha libre guy, and you know, it's not too flashy, it's not too over the top, but it's feasible. I mean, he could just. And that's something you could theoretically hit out of nowhere and get a big pop up. Get it. You know, he could just do like a tornado DDT, and then he could just do maybe like a moonsault or a plancha, just something. Maybe that's something that would work, but that's what I would go with. I would just say, okay, you can keep the DDT. Let's just make it a tornado DDT. You know, you just go all crazy, you just go off the ropes, and just make it really dramatic. And so that's what I would do. I would make his change up his finishing maneuver there. Let's see. I don't think I've got any more questions here. Looking around here. I want to tell everybody thank you for joining us here. I'm trying to get back in the swing of things. I've just had a really rough month here. You know, went on vacation. And my work schedule changed up a little bit. I had to work some more days, so I've been off there for really haven't been on there consistently for about 3-4 weeks. But now I'm back and hopefully settling into like the old routine again. So getting comfortable doing that. Let's see, and be sure to check out. Let's see, Sandy he reviewed Raw. I reviewed SmackDown last night. Doing NXT now. I'm hoping to have a Cruiserweight Classic review up within the next 24 hours. Okay, I'm hoping he's going to have a TNA Impact review. I'm going to try to catch up with Ring of Honor to see what the fallout is from Death Before Dishonor. No pay-per-views this weekend, but then we'll start all over again on Monday. So in the meantime, be sure to like, subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can always reach us at KocoSports.com, KocoSports.com. It's your home for combat sports. It's where the world is to kick ass, and most importantly, where it's okay to be a passionate fan. So this is Boom Boom, man, for the rest of the Coco crew saying the boom just went bang, and I am out.